Peace. Haha. You know what time it is. You see the clock. It's your brother Rahim. Once again, your investigative reporter. This is Rahim versus Bentray part 2. So I want you to hear an excerpt from Bentray. Listen closely.
Yeah, Bentray. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I just want to say something really quick. Just want to say thanks a lot, Sel, for inviting me on the show. Great discussion, Brother Rahim. And I just want to say, it seems like Brother Rahim's stance tonight, I mean, is all wrong, because he said that he goes into the original, he goes into the Hebrew, and he goes into different translations, and I'm trying to let him know that's what I do also, and other Bible believers. So the errors he tried to point out, I mean, it's been disproven, because you got to go into the Hebrew and other translations.
So there you have it. You heard what he said. Okay, he's basically saying the Bible is infallible, and he used the version NIV. And in my debate, I showed him where he was wrong, because he said they had two verses that I pulled out that were corrupted in the King James Version, and he pulled out something from the NIV, and he was correct. It was 4,000. Then I recorrected him and showed him he still had errors in the NIV, which his mindset is thinking that the NIV is the best Bible on the planet. And it's accurate. That's not the case. Because I'm going to prove to you even the NIV is tainted. It's not infallible. And as I've already shown, Ellen White said no two Bibles are alike. But look at these 5 Bibles. There are many other versions, but these I have to tend to personally, because look at them. If I was a person just coming into Christianity or whatever, dealing with the Bible, and you gave me one of these Bibles, people make you think that they're infallible and this is the only Bible. But being that I have studied, we're not even talking about the text now. We're talking about the book, the whole book. There's an inaccuracy, because the Douay Rheims has 73 books. The King James Version has 66. The Old King James, which was the first one in 611, has 80 books. The Ethiopian Orthodox Bible, 81 books. NRSV has 84 books, people. You see this? So let's talk about the King James for a minute. So that means King James first had 80 books, then somebody omitted some books, and it came up with 66. How did Douay Rheims come up with 73 books? Ethiopian Orthodox has 81. Now the NRSV Bible has 84 books. This is inaccurate. If the Creator Yahweh, as your book said, gave inspiration and it's supposed to be infallible, why are there so many different versions with different books in them? You will never see a Quran like that. Now let's get off this, because right there is an error, a big one. The NIV, as you can see, I went to the book. Now I went to the digital book, so I can do it quick to show him he still has errors in the NIV. 2 Samuel chapter 10 verse 18. But they fled before Israel, and David killed 700 of their charioteers and 40,000 of the foot soldiers. He also struck down Shabbat, the commander of their army, and he died there. 1 Chronicles chapter 19 verse 18. But they fled before Israel, and David killed 7,000 of their charioteers and 40,000 of their foot soldiers. He also killed Shabbat, the commander of their army. 700 or 7,000 people. Do you know what I'm saying? So they cleaned up the 40,000 foot soldiers, because in the King James Version, as you see down, I put horsemen and footmen. That's in the King James. So they cleaned that up and then left 707,000. So still an error. Numbers chapter 1 verse 35, NIV. This is from the book. I copied it straight from the book. The number of the tribes of Manasseh was 32,200. Numbers chapter 26 verse 34. These were the clans of Manasseh. Those numbered were 52,700. I have more, but I just wanted you to see that because I'm staying in the NIV, and then I'll go back to the King James versions, because what it is most of the people, especially in the United States, have King James version. Not everybody uses the NIV. Now, Leviticus chapter 11 verse 6. The rabbit thought it chews the cud, does not have a split hoof. It is unclean for you. Now, the word is garah, the term which appears in the means chewed cud, and also perhaps grain or berry. It does not mean dung, and there is a perfectly adequate Hebrew word for that, which could have been used. Furthermore, the phrase translated chew the cud in the King James is more exactly bring up the cud. Rabbits do not bring up anything. They let it go all the way through. Then they eat again from the source they're eating from. The description given in Leviticus is inaccurate. Rabbits do eat their own dung. They do not bring anything up and chew it. That's an error. That's a zoology error. NIV. And that's for the brother, Bentray, so he can see that. We're in the NIV again. It says, the most reliable early manuscripts and other ancient witnesses do not have Mark 16, chapter 9 through 20. So that's telling you the most reliable early manuscripts and other ancient witnesses do not have Mark 16, chapter 9 through 20. Because in the RSV, what they did was put a K next to verse 8 and don't have 9 to 20. K means footnotes. So they took the words of Yahweh and made them footnotes. But I thought they was inspired words of men. You're not supposed to do that. I'm going to show you in part 3. I'm going to show you a Bible that's like that. But it's telling you right here. And I bet you people just read right over that and think 9 through 20 was always there. So why did you put that there? You're not supposed to add or take away. Now let's deal with this. King James Version. All 4 Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John has according to each of the 4 pseudo-authors. RSV, NSAB, AV, all have this except NIV. What they did was took according to, omitted from their book. So it's like Matthew wrote it, or Mark wrote it, and Luke wrote it, and John wrote it, as you see in this paper, in this picture, which is not true at all. So they omitting things. So they change it. Not supposed to take away, not supposed to add in. This is what it always looks like in all the versions. The gospel according to Mark, the gospel according to Matthew, the gospel according to John, the gospel according to Luke. And he says the Bible is accurate. It's so many mistakes and errors and defects and contradictions that it's crazy. He knew I was right. He was trying to save face. See, I got so much ammunition, he just can't come around it. You can't get around it. Now, let's look at this. Look at this, people. We all know the story of Jesus, the virgin birth, and so forth. Now, Jesus had one stepfather. Name was Joseph. He had no biological father because that was supposed to be the miracle. His mother Mary is really the immaculate conception with her parents. Jesus is the miracle birth. Let's get that straight. Now, if you look at the Matthew and Luke and the NIV also, you will see that Jacob and Hele, or Heli, however you want to pronounce it, gave birth to Joseph. That's an incorrect genealogy. And look, on one side you have 1 to 25 and the next side is 40. Which one is it? Okay. Which one did Joseph come from? Jesus didn't have a biological father. Joseph was a stepfather. Here's a big contradiction. The biggest contradiction is books are missing. Can't add in and can't take out. That's what you're supposed to not do. But they did it anyway. They canonized books. Here you see the books of Barnabas, gone. The book of the prophecies of Enoch, not there. The book of Joshua, not there. The book of Acts of Solomon, not there. The book of Nathan, the prophet, not there. The book of God, or Gad, the seer, not there. The book of Shema, the prophet, not there. The visions of Iddo, the seer. The prophecy of Ahijah, not there. The book of Jehu, not there. The book of Philip, not there. The gospel of Mary Magdalene, not there. The gospel of Thomas, not there. The Essenes gospel of peace, not there. The Apocrypha and its 17 books, not there. They even have some letters that Paul wrote that they didn't even put in. I ain't even put that up there. This is what it says, people. The Gospels are highly problematic as historical sources. We do not have the original text of the Gospels, and there are places where we do not know what the authors originally said. The Gospels are not authorized by persons' names in their titles, Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John, but were written by people who were not followers of Jesus, living 40 to 60 years later in different parts of the world. The Gospels are full of discrepancies and contradictions, and the Gospel report historical events that can be shown not to have happened. The book, get this from, did Jesus exist? The historical argument for Jesus of Nazareth. Page 179. I didn't even put this in my debate. I have so much ammo. We didn't have enough time. See, I knew I had more. He knew. Now look at this. The books don't have authors, but it's supposed to be the inspired word to men. Okay, Judges, author, possibly Samuel. Ruth, not definitely known. Perhaps Samuel, perhaps. 1 Samuel, author, unknown. 2 Samuel, author, unknown. 1 Kings, author, unknown. 2 Kings, author, unknown. 1 Chronicles, author, unknown. 2 Chronicles, author, likely collected and edited by Ezra. Job, author unknown. Esther, author unknown. Ecclesiastics, author doubtful but commonly assigned to Solomon. Jonah, author unknown. Habakkuk, author, nothing known of the place or time of his birth. And people, this is from the above facts from the Collins RSV 1971, pages 12 to 17. So, as you can see, there's discrepancies. So, part 3 coming up, and I'll probably make a part 4, and that'll probably be it, because I don't need to explain no more. Peace.